Hey mamas, before we begin, can we just acknowledge how incredible you all are? Bringing a life into this world, nourishing that life, it's no walk in the park. And while there's this overwhelming sense of love and connection that comes with breastfeeding, let's be real, it can be tough, like really tough. But here's the thing, you're not alone. Every mom, every single one, has faced their own unique set of challenges. And that's why we're here today. We're talking about those common breastfeeding hurdles. The latch struggles, the nipple pain, those moments when you swear your little one inherited their hunger from a starving hippo. We're gonna break it all down, offer some real practical solutions, and hopefully give you that boost of confidence to say, I got this. All right, let's dive right in with latching. It seems like it should be the most natural thing in the world, right? But sometimes getting that perfect latch can feel like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube blindfolded. And a poor latch? It's not just about discomfort though, believe me, I've been there. A shallow latch can actually make it harder for your baby to effectively draw out milk, leaving you feeling engorged and your little one unsatisfied. So, what can you do? First off, don't be afraid to experiment with different positions. There's the classic cradle hold, the football hold, my personal favorite after a C-section, and even the laid-back position. Find what works best for you and your baby. And remember, those lactation consultants, they're like the superheroes of the breastfeeding world. Don't hesitate to reach out for personalized guidance. They've seen it all and have a treasure trove of tips and tricks. Okay, let's talk about those nipples. In those early days, it can feel like you're feeding a tiny little piranha instead of a precious baby. And those first few weeks? Yeah, sore and cracked nipples are practically a rite of passage. But there are things you can do to soothe the pain and promote healing. First and foremost, make sure your baby is latching correctly. Remember, a deep, comfortable latch is key. And trust me, when I discovered lanolin cream, it was a game changer. It's like a warm hug for your nipples. Just remember to let your nipples air dry after each feeding to prevent any moisture buildup. Oh, and if you're really struggling, a nipple shield can be a lifesaver, offering a protective barrier while your little one feeds. Now let's address the elephant in the room: low milk supply. It's something that weighs heavily on so many moms' minds, and the pressure to produce enough can be immense. But let me tell you, you're doing amazing, and there are ways to boost your supply. The key is to stimulate those milk-making factories. Increase the frequency of your feeding or pumping sessions. Think of it like this: the more demand, the more supply. And just like you need fuel to keep going, so does your body. Staying hydrated is crucial. So drink up, mama, and don't underestimate the power of food. Incorporate lactation-friendly foods into your diet. Oatmeal, almonds, and flaxseed are all great options. Remember, you've got this. Chapter 4. Now, on the flip side, some moms experience an oversupply or a forceful letdown. While it might seem like a good problem to have, it can actually make things tricky for your little one. Imagine trying to sip from a fire hose. That's what it can feel like for your baby. They might cough, sputter, or get fussy at the breast. But don't worry, there are ways to manage this. Try feeding in a reclined position, like lying down on your back, to help slow down the flow. You can also express a small amount of milk before each feeding to take the edge off. And just like with low supply, alternating breasts during a feeding can help regulate the flow and prevent your baby from getting overwhelmed. Chapter 5. Okay, let's talk about engorgement. It's that feeling of being, well, incredibly full. Your breasts might feel hard, tender, and even warm to the touch. It's like they've transformed into two overripe melons. But don't panic. There are things you can do to find relief. Before each feeding, apply a warm compress to your breasts. This will help soften the area and encourage milk flow. After feeding, switch to a cool compress to reduce swelling. And don't be afraid to channel your inner masseuse. Gentle massage can work wonders in relieving discomfort and helping to drain those milk ducts. Chapter 6. Now mastitis. If you've ever experienced it, you know it's no joke. This painful inflammation can really knock you down. You might experience flu-like symptoms, fever, and localized pain and redness in your breast. If you suspect you have mastitis, it's crucial to contact your doctor right away. Mastitis often requires antibiotics, but you can still breastfeed while you recover. In fact, continuing to breastfeed can actually help clear the blockage. Just remember to follow your doctor's advice and prioritize rest and self-care. Let's talk about blocked milk ducts for a moment. They're like those pesky traffic jams that can bring your milk flow to a screeching halt. You might notice a tender lump in your breast, accompanied by localized pain and redness. But don't worry, there are ways to get things moving again. Gentle massage is your best friend here. Use circular motions around the affected area to help dislodge the blockage. Warm compresses can also work wonders in softening the area and promoting milk flow. And as always, frequent breastfeeding is key to keeping those ducts clear. If the blockage persists, don't hesitate to reach out to a lactation consultant or your healthcare provider for additional guidance. Okay, let's address the pain. Because let's be real, breastfeeding shouldn't feel like a medieval torture device. If you're experiencing persistent pain or nipple sensitivity, it's essential to pinpoint the cause. Often it boils down to positioning and latch. Experiment with different holds to find what feels most comfortable for both you and your baby. A nipple shield can also provide a protective barrier, allowing your nipples to heal while you continue to breastfeed. And remember, those lactation consultants are like the Sherlock Holmes of breastfeeding. They can help you identify any underlying issues and provide personalized solutions. Now let's talk about feeding in public. It can be a source of anxiety for many new moms, but I'm here to tell you, you have the right to feed your baby whenever and wherever they need to be fed, period. That being said, I know it can be daunting to navigate those first few public feedings. My advice? Plan ahead. Choose comfortable, practical clothing that allows for easy access. Nursing tanks and tops are game changers. And if you prefer a little extra privacy, there are plenty of stylish and discreet nursing covers available. Remember, confidence is key. Okay, last but not least, let's talk about feeding schedules. When it comes to breastfeeding, flexibility is key. Every baby is different, and what works for one might not work for another. Instead of getting caught up in rigid schedules, focus on responsive feeding. Pay attention to your baby's cues. Rooting, sucking on their hands, those adorable little lip-smacking sounds. These are all signs that your little one is hungry. And remember, tracking your baby's feeding patterns can be helpful, especially in those early days. There are some great apps out there that make it easy to log feedings, diaper changes, and even sleep patterns. As we wrap things up, just remember this: you are incredible. Breastfeeding is a journey, a beautiful, messy, and sometimes challenging journey. But you've got this. Trust your instincts, seek support when you need it, and know that you're not alone. You are strong, you are capable, and you are an amazing mom.